Hello, welcome back to Planet 40k. We've got another bite-sized review for you today. This time we're going to be looking at one of the relics within the Necron Codex, and it's going to be the Voidreaper. So this is of course going to cost us 1 CP before the game even begins because we have to pay for relics. Now in order to take a Voidreaper, one of our character models that are not named needs to be in possession of either a War Scythe or a Void Scythe, although you shouldn't really be swapping out a Void Scythe because you're paying extra points for that. You don't need to do that, just buy a War Scythe and then upgrade it from there. Now there's only going to be 4 models that can take this relic, and they are the following. So you've got the Catacomb Command Barge, you've got the Locust Lord, you've got the Standard Lord, and then the Overlord. Those 4 models are able to take the War Scythe. So what does the relic actually do? So it's a melee weapon and it's strength +2, likely making it strength 7, -4 AP and 3 damage. Now very similar stats to the War Scythe, except it's 3 damage, not 2 damage. But there's also an ability attached to this relic, which is rules that ignore wounds lost cannot be used. So that's going to be your Feel No Pain saves, and also any abilities that prevent wounds being lost, such as our Catan Shards that can only lose 3 wounds in a given phase. Those kind of abilities will get completely ignored. So in a sense, it's actually very similar to the Drain Life ability that our Nightbringer has. However, if you're using it on modified damage, such as the ability from, say, the Death Guard, which is the Disgustingly Resilient ability, that's a -1 to all damage. It's not going to work on those kind of abilities because it's a modifier as opposed to an actual wound lost. And to make best use of this relic, it's a good idea to combine it with the command protocol of Hungry Void. You get a +1 to your strength on the charge, or if you were charged and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to make it strength 8 as opposed to strength 7. Which of course, strength 8 is a magic number. If you're going up against toughness 4, that means you're wounded on a 2+, or going up against those vehicles that are toughness 7, you're wounded on a 3+. Now we previously were able to use the Disruption Field stratagem on the Command Barge, but that has since lost the core keyword, so we can't be using that one anymore, so you do have to rely on that Hungry Void protocol. So as for the 4 options, so let's start with that Catacomb Command Barge. It's a pretty decent option for the barge, because of course it's a quick model, so it can be used as more of a beat stick kind of character. You're also shooting into combat with that undersling weapon as well, so it's not a bad option with the Catacomb Command Barge. Another character that's got a little bit more survivability is the Locust Lord, especially with the Phylactery ability, so D3 lost wounds comes back instead of 1 for the Living Metal ability, and combining that with the Protocol of Undying Legions to get D3 +1 wounds returned, but he does only start on 6 wounds, so he is beatable. As for the Necron Lord, not a chance for me. I wouldn't be putting this relic on a Necron Lord. It's got no invulnerable save. Really, he's just a glorified orb carrier. Then as for the Overlord model, he's not a bad option. He's our Jack of all trades general. Now he is slow and obviously can't take the Veil of Darkness relic because you've used your relic slot with the Overlord. But if you want to defend or hold the No Man's Land with a standard Overlord, with this relic, yeah, that's not a bad option either. For me, it's an okay relic. There's quite a lot of Feel No Pain saves within the game at present. And there's more and more of these character models popping up that have got those caps on how many wounds they can lose in a given phase. Like Abaddon from the Black Legion, Grazgul from the Orc Codex. There's loads of these different kind of models that have got caps on the wounds they can lose. Now the damage increasing from 2 to 3 is pretty nice. I would like to have seen that strength slightly increased as well to a strength 8 naturally. Strength 8 would have been ideal. Now strength 10 is probably a little bit too far to be honest with you, so strength 8 I think I would have been comfortable with. But you do have that Hungry Void protocol to get you to strength 8 if needed. I still find it a little bit odd that the Void Scythe is an exchangeable weapon for this Voidreaper. I don't quite understand why you would pay 10 points instead of 5 for the War Scythe to get the exact same upgrade. And that's a strength 10 weapon as well, so if you want a strength 10 weapon you just may as well stick with that Void Scythe as opposed to upgrading it. But let's get on to the Planet 40k rating for the Voidreaper. I'm going to go with middle of the road, 3 star.